Council has been monitoring the slope here at Kex Gill, the A59 connects Skipton to Harrogate, for a number of years now, and back in 2010-11 we carried out some substantial remedial works at the sites to try and stabilise the slope. We also carried out some further works in early 2014 to attach additional drainage into that area that we'd carried out the previous repair on. Key thing with this slope is the management of water on the slope, and that's why we've been monitoring the slope for a long period of time now. Now, prior to Christmas we'd been monitoring the slope and had no significant movement on the slope, but across December, particularly in early January, we noticed some very significant movement linked to the excessive rainfall that we'd had, and on Tuesday, January the 5th, we actually carried out some site monitoring that showed that we'd had movement of up to 800 millimetres on the slope. Now that was very concerning, and plus some site feedback that we had in terms of areas where we'd seen significant movement led us to take the decision to close the road. Now that is, like I said, not a decision that we took lightly at all. So as a result of that, we issued statements and we put out the road closure signs, and that closure came into effect around between about 4 and 6 o'clock on January the 5th. Since then we've been monitoring the slope on a regular basis, and pleased to say that the latest monitoring results that we've got from surveys we did on Monday and Wednesday of this week have shown that there's been no further significant monitoring. Right. That allowed us then to bring a contractor onto here yesterday, a contractor, our geotechnical expert Capita, who've been advising us all the way on this, because all the time we've been getting expert geotechnical advice and input based on the survey work that's been done. So yesterday we had contractors here with the geotechnics guys as well, to basically look at what we need to do. Right. The geotechnics guys have been concerned about water and how the water is basically ponding at the top of the slope. There's water trapped at the top of the slope and is ponding, so essentially, and it's above the area of instability. So the key thing that we've got to try and do is install a drainage solution to drain away some of that water and to get water away from the area of instability. Pleased to say that as a result of the meeting that we had yesterday, a very positive meeting on site with the contractors. The contractor also has experience of working on this location before, actually did the works in 2014. Contractors are going to mobilise across the weekend and will start work on Monday to install an additional drainage channel that will go along the east side of the slope and look to drain water away from the slope. Contractor will work 7 days a week, but we can't work round the clock because the location is not suited to overnight working, nighttime working on the slope. Particularly the condition of the slope, what we've got to bear in mind is two things particularly. One is that we've got a complex slope, it is not stable, it is very weather dependent as well, and then the safety of the workforce and plant and machinery moving around on the slope. So at the moment our intention is that we will reopen the road as soon as it's safe to possibly do so, but in terms of people wanting to know an estimated time frame, our current best estimate is that it could take us up to 6 weeks to complete this work. If we can complete that work more quickly, we will do, and we will make sure that through the County Council's communication channels we provide regular updates in terms of progress of the work, because it is very early days. Contractors been on site yesterday, they'll start work on Monday. We'll get a better picture as we're going along in terms of how well works are progressing, how quickly we can get things finished, and if we can finish things more quickly, can give our assurance that we will do so. This road will only remain closed for as long as it is entirely necessary to do so.
It has been mentioned that a lot of work was done on this location in 2011, and bits of work have been done almost every year since then, certainly before the Tour de France last year, 2 years ago. But of course it is a very difficult piece of land, and it does need maintaining all the time. So it's not a question of doing work in 1 year and expecting that to last for many, many years. This is a very challenging piece of topography that needs work doing almost every year to improve drainage above all. It is the heavy rainfall and the drainage of this hillside which is causing most of our problems this morning. And it is, of course, disappointing to know that it could last up to 6 weeks. But this is not a political decision. This is very much a decision taken by our professional officers, and I rely upon those completely. We are where we are. It is something that we'll have to work through now. If we can do it in quicker than 6 weeks, then so much the better. But certainly our long-term aim has to be to seek a rerouting of the A59, which is the principal Transpennine east-west route, that should not have to rely upon a piece of road such as this, which is quite literally a road built on a ledge on a very steep slope. We do have another route in mind. It would be expensive, of course, and we'd need to look for central government contributions for that. But it is something that's in our local transport plan that will be renewed on the 1st of April. It is our top priority for the county, and we hope to be able to start on that in the relatively near future.